All right, my friends. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe. Today, I'm just going to go through a quick run through of my prototype here for Vocability. I've already covered a little bit of the context behind the project here, so I'll make it quite snappy. Just a more of a concept project, right? I kept it fairly low fidelity for the most part. Yeah, it's still pretty sketched out. So without further ado, we'll go through this. So on my splash page here, as you can see. And we go into our login, our sign up screen here. We'll keep it old school. When we sign up, it would just be like, email path. Here, I mean, I've got the same screen here for both like the login or sign up. Again, low fidelity, but it'd probably be like create email, right? Email and create password, right? I would just keep them on like the same screen. Or you can obviously sign up with your Google account or your Facebook account, right? But like I said, we'll keep it old school. We'll use our email. So I'll just click on that. Up comes our keyboard, all typed up. We then go to creating a password there. We've done all that, and then you would have the button coming up to sign up, right? To go ahead. So with a lot of the prototypes, like when I'm doing the sitemap and stuff, I actually got a hint from this from one of the mentors I have for these projects that I do, these UX projects that I do here. And he told me that it's always best to have the email first, right? Have the user put in their email first, because if for whatever reason they don't finish signing up, you can just send out an email to check in with them to see if everything's all right. If they still want to sign up, that's cool. You've got their email to do that. So yeah, that's why it's always the best thing to have the email first, right? When you're signing up for an account. So then once we've done all that, we've got this like little model light box. It'd be kind of similar with a lot of the apps. I know on my iPhone, it'll come up asking me, would I want to share my location, whilst using the app or all the time? If the app needs to use my location. The reason I thought I would add this in, and again, it's really just expressing some thoughts. I didn't actually have this in my older prototype, the version 1, right? That's in my portfolio right now. This is something I thought I'd add in, just because for the next part, some other additional details we might need to take for signing up, for getting a profile with Vocability, the language, right? If it uses your location, you could then think of like the initial languages that would be used in that location, and it might already have them like as a bit of a pre-selection, right, to save you actually going through them and selecting. But just for the sake of the prototype, I don't have it in there right now. So again, we would just put in our name with the keyboard there, and then the language be like, say, like a drop down, right, and then you just pick the language. I was thinking it might actually be better to have the language at the very start, before you read everything. It's still very early days with what feature is going to be where, what's going to work in. We're not going too deep on like what should go where as of yet anyway. I might maybe at a later date come in and just polish up even more, put more thought in. It is really fun to do. But as of now, it's just something that you can add in, something that's thought out and it's put in there, and seeing how it works, right? So we've got all that. We'll go next, and then you'd say have some frequently asked questions, and then like the T and C's, you would just like scroll down even more, right? If it's going to let me do that. Yeah, there we go. Took its time. But then you scroll at the bottom, and then just maybe a tick box, or maybe just a button to say that you've read it all and you're good to confirm those terms and conditions, and you're okay with having an account with Vocability. So confirm that, and then we go on to just some deeper onboarding with how the app can help you with your vocabulary, right? That's the end game for this app here. It's to tidy up on your vocabulary. So maybe you are like our persona Sean that we had. He works with a lot of people from all different languages, right? All different levels of speaking, and he wants to make sure that his vocabulary is as expanded as it can be. So whenever he's talking to, say, expats that he works with, and maybe there's a bit of a dip in communication, there's a dip in conversation where he's just stuck for words. No one's the conversation's not really flowing, and maybe he just wants to tidy that up a little bit. He selects that. Maybe he makes another selection of maybe he wants to learn a new word a day, right? Just whatever goals, standard goals that you would have for improving your vocabulary, and you could just make those selections. once you've made those, you can then go on to the next part, which would maybe be just some like an onboarding screen, just pointing out main features, how it all works. And then like you just swipe, and then that would be like you working your settings, the how the features can be tailored to you to make them more usable for you, more easier to use for you. So let's just say you make those selections, right? And I mean, maybe I might put this in another place. These, like when it's like low fidelity, it's really better just for testing, right? It's just really good just to kind of get ideas down and see how they respond, see how they work out when you give them to your possible users, right? So you can go through a test and just seeing how that works out, right? What works, what doesn't work. So, I mean, I could really take this to some of the users I had before, some of the or possible users, some of the participants I had before, see if they want to run through this like they did my other one, and I can use that data to improve, right? Just like I used the previous data to improve on this. So I've got my dashboard here. And as you can see, we've got the challenge section. It's kind of like the bit at the top. It's the more inviting part of the dashboard there. Then we've got our library progress, a little help button there. And then we've got our icons at the bottom there that just, help us navigate through the app here. So how about we just check out the challenge? So let's say like that is maybe like a model or whatever. It just kind of extends. And then we get some information on challenge, like a challenge, right? And let's say we want just to check that out, and then we've got like other challenges, right? We can add it, say like that is the challenge that we had like on the home screen there. We might have like more info on it or whatever, and then we can just add it, and then you've got like almost like a catalog of other similar challenges that are tailored from what you selected with the goals, right? So they're more aligned with what you're trying to improve with your vocabulary. Let's say you're thinking, cool, I want to add this, and then it adds it to the library. I was thinking at this point, maybe after this message comes up, we just come out of it and it maybe has a little tick. Maybe it just does like a tick just to say it's been added, right, rather than like a message. But I really just use the model at the moment, really just for the sake of, telling the user it's been added to your library. And then maybe when you like click on it, come out of it, you then go on to, oh, my bad. It was just loading. I thought something happened there. Maybe these icons, they could be just, they could lead you to just further content with like the vocability challenges. Maybe it could be like folders, right? Like your notes. I know I actually went a little bit deeper in the previous prototype with the notes sections. You can add notes, edit them, just to help you with like the challenges. I kind of stripped that back a little bit here, just because it was getting a little bit confusing when we were testing it before. We're just going to assume that, as we're kind of stepping things back a little bit, this is what this could be, right, for now. Let's say you wanted to search. We've clicked the little search bar there. We're going to let that load up, and the keyboard comes up. You do your thing. You type in whatever you need to search. Maybe we're going to search, if you're learning German, right, German vocabulary, it would come up with some results for picking up and improving German vocabulary, maybe some challenges, maybe an article, just a bit of like a catalog here that we could have. That's just like the library. It was just a basic search and, recommendation sort of function there. And then we could maybe go straight to our insights, right? We've got some insights at the bottom, see how our progression is getting on. I'll just sort of bear with it whilst it loads. It's taking its time today. So yeah, it would just be like, some visuals, some pie charts. Your stats are all kind of listed there. Like the more challenges you do, the more stats you get, right? The more information it can give you to see how you're improving, right? I know whenever I'm playing a game, whenever I'm engaging with any sort of digital product, the more I put in, the more I like to get out. So I like to see my timeline, right? I like to see how I'm progressing with things. I like to see that how my time's actually getting used with the product, right? Like I like to see things coming to fruition. So yeah, that's why I just think the statistics like section. I just think any kind of stats or anything within an app, I try and include that if I can and if it's appropriate. So that's like a little something there. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then maybe on the other section here, we've got our profile. Now, I might actually change that little icon maybe to a cog, because I know with our profile, it wouldn't be a kind of profile that you would edit. I've got the button there, a little picture. But it kind of reminds me more of like how you'd edit a profile for like say Instagram or Spotify, that have more of a social media, avenue there. This isn't really a social media app. This is more just you're using it to pick up, a new language or your vocabulary. Yeah, I might kind of change that around a little bit, but you could edit it. It gets the point. You can, you can personalize it to how you want your profile to be there. It'd probably be more like similar to how we were doing like the onboarding. You would kind of go back, maybe change like your goals and stuff like that. So that's how I was thinking we'd probably change that more to like the call. So it's more like settings, right? It's more like changing the settings. So yeah, I will sign out and end things there. We just go back to our login sign up page. I'll try and make it a little bit more snappier with this run through, giving it a little bit of a commentary, and just changing things up, still polishing up, and using data that we had from the testing, making those improvements, and then putting it back out there. That's really the point on Vocability. It was nothing really to advance on too far. It's a very concept, drip back project, intro to things, keeping it light, keeping it fun. So I'll end things there. Enjoy the rest of your day and take it easy.